get some UMG gear, you get some credits. Come on, UMG, let me help you out.
Hey, you know, that's 200 IQ play. It's like, you know, putting some stock in yourself. You know, granted, you always want to bet on yourself, but, you know, you got a little bit of extra to max. Not only that it's a check on the line, but all your channel points as well. It makes you want to play just a little bit harder, a little bit faster to come out on top with this victory. It's the Pioneers going up against the Pittsburgh Knights here in the grand finals. You guys have been an awesome crowd all throughout the night, but it comes down to this. Who wants to get the biggest win of the week and take that momentum into week number 2 of the Pro League and EDAYS? We're about to find out soon. Kicking this one off with Bronny from the Pioneers, as he's going to be able to get into the hill first. PK, he'll spread this map out, get the shot grenade, get control. Now we're trying to rush this fight too quickly as Raver wins a big 1v1 against Xysho.
And that first blood is going to be big because it now gives them a 3v2 on this side of the map, and they're trying to get those frag grenades or at least get them to be burnt before this battle happens. Shot grenade's going to go ahead and take those out. That's going to be Acells. Bronny falling shortly after, but they did a good job, Blaze. They went in, they got the frags and burned them.
Hndles got the bow in his 1v1 across the map. He was able to pick up a kill. We'll see how quickly he's going to start revving up this next bow to get back into the fight, because he knows that even if he gets a kill, he doesn't have any teammates close by to really make a play. Give it a bit of time, and he's going to time it just right. He's able to get it down on Dezonide with his Lancer. Acells gets a headshot on Fearzly, so 2 players. He got the double kill when they went for the revive. That's 3 down for the night, and the Pioneers collect it on time.
Great start for the Pioneers when it comes to those points. For the Knights, they did a good job winning that early battle. It started with Raver getting that first blood, but the lead after hill number 1 is going to go to KCP. If you look at your mini map, though, all 4 members of the Knights are at least in the direction of the next hill versus 3 members of the Pioneers. That 4th member from each team is kind of playing slow. That's going to be Xysho and Monkyz, trying to make sure nobody gets a free flank, nobody gets a free angle.
Nothing free around here, folks. It's a 3v3 fight at the hill. KCP collecting on time. A 1v1 across map. It's going to be Xysho with the upper hand there. He's going to be relaxed. Flank towards the hill. Hndles stun. Back into the fight. He wins it. Man advantage. 2-man advantage there for the Pioneers. Hndles says, I'm feeling it. I'm going for more, but not going to be too overzealous. A little bit of damage. Let my teammates finish up the kill. Great teamwork for the Pioneers.
Bronny going out, getting it down. Now he's going to get backup that he needs, but
he didn't clean it.
Puts himself in a bad spot. Yep, they did not. Revive coming out. Xysho's going to fall as well. 4v2 going out. Hndles trying to do what he can to leave him up 1. He misses the melee, but gets the down with the shot, but everybody continues to crumble on the side of the Pioneers. The Knights, they break through, but they're only going to get less than half of the remaining hill time. You got to think, out of that 36 seconds, they're going to get even less than that because they got to rotate off early. So Pioneers doing a good job through and through.
That's a good flash. Stuns 2. Easy kills for the Pioneers. Raver wasn't able to slow their way. He was on his last down. Fearzly is going to lose his legs there towards the backside of the stairs, and that's Pioneers collecting on the rest of his time. Monkyz hasn't shown himself just yet. 1 more shot needed. He gets it. Wins the fight. Now he's going to get the ping for his team on where that next rotation is coming through, and I like Monkyz going on the flank here. And, but even though he's on the flank, that spawn came through for the Pioneers.
Yeah.
With that being said, that's a 3v2 in favor of the Pioneers, and they continue to roll towards that hill. Monkyz, the last one left. He got his teammate, but he was already down on the ground. There's Pioneers who will get to this hill once again. Start getting this time first.
Everybody just getting Lancered out from the top. They lost that initial battle for the hill itself, but Dezonide getting that shot grenade. You can kind of see it in your mini-map. Fearzly's going to go ahead and stretch forward, push it into a 1v1 so Xysho can't get the cross, and they're going to trust the 3v3 with a shot grenade as that attempt to kind of break through. Smoke grenade to try to crowd as much as possible to make those marks that much more important, but Dezonide goes down. Dezonide is out, and so is the shot grenade. That leaves Raver and Monkyz to do it almost bare here as they're back down little by little. Flash grenades from almost everybody in this exchange, but it's Raver. He's the one who gets that elimination. There's going to be a down onto Fearzly across the map, which allows Xysho to rotate to keep this a 3v3 battle as the Lancer damage is there. Hndles is going to be the first one to drop, but it's only going to continue to be a trade. 3v3 coming down to a 2v2 with Dezonide going down. This is not looking good for PK.
Oh man, that PK had to come out on top of that one. It almost went super bad for the Pioneers, but they threw 3 flashes in the same location, and Raver didn't get stunned. He was able to get the first kill in that fight, but ultimately Pioneers defense proved to be better. And now as they press out, they lose a few players in a rotation. Xysho's the last one left, but he needed just a little bit more help. It's going to be the Knights to make it to next first.
Knights were just completely shut out. 57-0 on that last hill. Pioneers beginning to run away with this one, but for the Knights, we've seen this in this tournament alone. Map number 1s, all 2 of their map number 1s, they were behind. They were forced to play comeback at the very end, and they were losing in both of them, but that momentum shift, feeling that pressure was just enough to propel them in each and every one of these series. So hopefully they can do the same here. They're going to be the first one on these hills, so that drought is going to be no more as Hndles trying to make this sneaky play. A couple members of his team are going to be there, but Acells gets angled out, flanked by Monkyz yet again, so they have a one-man advantage to continue this push.
Monkyz got the spawn for the flank. Dezonide gets the bow kill and the shotty for the double. That just solidifies the setup that the Knights have. And now they get to relax a little bit more. Dezonide gets his Lancer back. The spawn, is it called out yet? Not yet. I think player 6 will be able to find the first one. Yeah, he backs up. He lets his team know they're going to start putting themselves in the right positions. Player 7 is going to be contested by Xysho. That's a 1v1. Dezonide and Xysho for the middle play for control. But on the hill, Fearzly is playing some defense. Dezonide did a good job backing down Xysho, forcing a rotation. But Acells trying to make the play happen. He takes a lot of damage. Hndles not close enough for the revive. Bronny's stuck in a corner. He's going to retreat now, knowing that he's the next target. Can't get away, though.
They're going to go for a skunk here on this next hill. 57-0 from the Pioneers, answered back by damn near 60-0 from the Pittsburgh Knights. A much needed answer back from what we were seeing so far, and Pioneers have begun to slow down. This is what the Pittsburgh Knights are taking advantage. They're even beginning to try to bleed this hill dry. So they did get one. They didn't get stunked out, but at one point is going to be that moment. You see everybody getting flushed around. Who is that deep in the spot? That's Acells. Look at this, please. He's just waiting for his team.
This is where you walk up behind Raver. Oh, he's going to go for the shot. He's going to get the damage anyway. In perfectly timed because Raver gets away there. The jig is up on the flank for the Pioneers, and it's still going to be up as Acells gets called out there. No one was able to move up on Raver to get the kill, and now Raver is going to be on the offensive, knowing he gets a lot of damage out. Oh, he gets 2. Mucho buena. The discipline there. Monkyz, he shows his discipline on the flank, holding this player off, waiting for help to come, and they will be able to force Bronny out. With 2 players pulled towards this side of the map and Bronny getting a kill, this is what KCP needed. They got numbers on the other side of the map, and now the Knights are kind of questioning should they even have took a player that far on the other side of the map to fight the 2v1. They kind of broke their own setup in that situation and gave up the rest of this time towards the Pioneers.
Yeah, if you kind of noticed in your minimap, Fearzly stayed behind, make sure to actually kill that player of Bronny. That way they didn't get that split spawn. He didn't have somebody kind of spawn behind him, and his teammates will be able to. And with that, they're not even going to contest that hill. They're going to go across the top to try to get into the next hill, or at least get the positioning of it before the Pioneers can. Losing Raver. They lose Acells as well. The battle's going to continue. Fearzly goes down. He doesn't buy Dezonide time to get there, but Dezonide gets that torque bow anyway, looking like Robin Hood almost all day long.
All day long, indeed. One more on the ground. The flash did slow that player from walking away. He took more splash damage than he wanted to. Xysho, a solid back A with the Lancer Fire support. He's going to take his right hand. This is the trap that the Pioneers want. They're controlling this fight unless PK makes a huge play just like that. 2 quick kills come through. They know where the next hit's going to be. In the next, it's Bronny, it's Hndles. They get taken out by the splash damage from Dezo across the map. He's watching the flank, and the deaths continue to get staggered. Xysho, Acells trying to get there to help their teammates, but they know that if they go down as well, this is not looking good for them. Hoping their teammates spawn on the opposite end of the map, but they will spawn with them.
Right now, it's just looking ever so good. That 57-1 run put them back in control, and they're taking it even further from there, Blaze. As you can see the scoreline, 40+ points for the Pittsburgh Knights. And like I said, after that early 2 games of the game number 1s of their past from Fury 1 and Rebel, they've already fixed their mistakes. I think that Rebel was the biggest matchup, the biggest factor in them being able to switch up their mistakes, especially for a map like Reactor, and this being their second time playing it. So as the Pittsburgh Knights drain that hill dry, you see see Pioneers setting up for next, and they have to make sure to hold on, because if they lose control of this early before the hill rotates, that's going to give Pittsburgh Knights the green light.
Or do they got it? Do they feel like they can go? Not yet. It's a yellow. They're taking their time, coming to a stop as the shock grenade goes to the cut. They can't move just yet. But here's a shortcut from Dezonide. His favorite. He gets one. Opens up the play for Monkyz to come in, get the second, the revive. Xysho's taken out, and off the back of another beautiful flank from Dezonide, the Knights find an opening to get some time on his hill. 70 points remaining. That's a good amount of time, and the bow just got picked up.
92-16 run before this hill for the Pittsburgh Knights. Not only coming back from that 57-0 hill number 2, but they're doing more than that as they're almost going up 100+ points. Pioneers, they're running around the hill trying to get the angles, but there's no damage there. It's actually Fearzly. He's putting out the damage onto Bronny. Finally, from the top of Acells, is putting out a massive amount of damage. Almost gets torque bow. It does by Raver. Threads the needle, and another torque bow going out, and that's just going to get splash damage even if he wants. He's just trying to protect his teammates from getting pushed, and now they're going to use that to be on the offensive here. Dezonide goes down. They might try to pull him back. Do they know that flank is coming, though? They might have to continue going forward. Bronny goes down. That's Monkyz fresh off the respawn, a flank of his own. This is just all-out war for this neutral hill.
Yeah, and I don't know that player is keeping that hill contested, but it's still plenty of bodies there as KCP quickly came off the respawn. They had a nice little flank position to catch PK off guard a bit. PK decided to press forward, which was the right decision, but now they got to slow it down. 13 points in the hill. PK is not worried about it. They're going to be set up for next, but they need to get this kill on player 3. Xysho cannot die for the next 5 seconds for his squad to have a chance at getting the best possible position. But his heal, he did his job. But where's the rest of the squad? They're going to be able to take down Dezonide. But Raver and Fearzly gets a kill. But Raver going down turns this into a 2v2 battle. 2 separate 1v1s. Bronny wins his. Hndles stays alive for help. Monkyz, does he take the 1v1? He's going to get crossed out. Can't do anything about that. Pioneers with control.
124 on hill number 3. That's when the Pioneers had reached that scoreline. They were up 124-47. Since then, over 200 points scored to about 24 for the Pioneers. They need to start building that momentum, and they're doing good on this hill. Now they need to defend. It's not only about gaining these points, it's about winning a lot of these battles to build that confidence for you, not only as an individual, but as a team. And this is where the push is going to come in. Fearzly trying to break through. Finally, it's going to be stopped by Acells. 2 more players there, at least trying to get the contestation. Hndles gets dropped like a fly as Dezonide once again, being the thorn in the side, tries to go for a big battle. If he wins this against Hndles or Acells, that's going to be lights out. A little bit of help from Monkyz, and they're doing absolutely everything right.
Flash connects. Xysho can't do anything about that. 20 points remaining for the Knights on his hill. Pioneers, they do have a few players down low, set up for next. That's a big 1v1 won by Acells. He'll stop any pushes coming from this side of the map for now. And you ask me, the rest of these Pioneers members need to start rotating the opposite end, and they're going to know it. Monkyz takes a different route outside of the sight lines from those Pioneers members watching that top left-hand corner. He'll be able to get that shock grenade, but Pioneers, they know the direction in which the Knights are coming from, so they stack their numbers. It's a 3v3 for the hill and a 1v1 up top.
191. That's the run that they're on right now for the Knights. About 191 to 60-something. 66, I do believe, is going to be the score line. Monkyz gets the bow, saving 2 members that were fighting for their lives onto the downs. Frag grenades being picked up by Raver. He can use them in that 1v1 against Acells for the spawn point. He actually is going to take it. That's going to be Dezonide. Frag grenade still being used. They're getting tossed around. They're still not able to break through, but they actually get one side. That's going to be Fearzly. They have the spawn point on the other side. That's going to be stolen away by Acells. That puts so much pressure on this battle for the Knights, and they're going to lose it. That is the silver lining. 50 seconds for grabs for KCP.
Raver stays alive for his team for now. He's going to ping a flash on the ground. Saw it there in the corner, but they're not going to worry about getting it for now. Fearzly did grab that extra flash, so as that one will work with 2 in his back pocket. Will that extra utility be what gets the Knights this hill? We're about to find out now. Util out. The Knights moving in. Xysho composed in the corner. Cleans up a kill. 2 downs. Couldn't get the 3rd. The Knights make it up for now, but that's all they can do. Great effort, but they have to play for next. Or player 1 gets the divine spawn. Okay, the premium spawn to get in, get the bow, and get position.
Eyes on target.
Where Bronny's gonna, I wouldn't say feel that pressure, but there's definitely pressure on him for that torque bow to be put to use effectively. The first one going out, that's going to not connect. That's just a regular torque bow though. This one revved up with an active. That one's going to be much better, much more successful as it takes down Raver, giving them that one-man advantage in this fight for the hill. But it doesn't look like they're going to press forward for this fight just yet. They didn't like what they see. They're not comfortable enough until they're trying to maybe catch this player off a respawn again. I wonder if they even know where everybody's at this moment in time.
With Dezonide anchored, I think he has the intel for him. He has a mean cross. Hndles knows that he's going to have to fight him in a 1v1. Dezonide sees him. 3v3 down low. Bronny with 2 bows to work with. A counter flash to stop any push off of it.
Enemy spotted.
It connects again. Still a stalemate in his hill. And as Dezonide goes huge, and he does with the wrap shot. The angle comes through. And this is where KCP is in a lot of trouble. And where the Pioneers, they can sit. 7, 6, 5, 4. They get in to contest. Bronny and Xysho at the last second. Cross down. The Knights with the angles, the pressure, the flank from Hndles. Is it going to be enough? It will not. It's the Knights. They strike first in map number 1. Whoa.
That was a hard-fought battle for sure, Blaze. Just kind of doing my last point tallies. 2 points was the Pioneer score on that last hill, but they were on a run. I talked about that 191 to 66 run. From that moment forward, they were doing good. It was 81 to 29, but you know as well as I do, if you're that far in a deficit, if you put yourself that far in a hole, it doesn't matter what you have. It's going to take you so long to climb out of it.
Don't matter. It does not matter. And, you know, even though the Pioneers got off to a great start, at a certain point, Pittsburgh said, forget the score line, okay? We are feeling ourselves right now. We are playing better than them. And they never let go of that momentum that they was able to grab towards the middle. And we'll see exactly as these fights start to change. Because the beginning of this is going to start off as a montage for KCP. And it's actually right here. It's already 124. We jump right to it. I take that back. It's going to be a montage for the night for the rest of this one as Raver gets a big double here. But there's the official lead change, 130 to 149. And now you'll see where the Knights get all that momentum big up.
Yeah, I think that was a perfect replay. 124, 104. That was the moment in that replay where the Pittsburgh Knights slowly but surely, they answered back a 57-0 run that the Pittsburgh Knights went on, or the Pioneers went on in hill number 3. They returned it with a 57-1, 45-15. 58-1, and then 45-19 before Pioneers began to show life again. You cannot go on that downward of a trajectory and expect to win the match. I don't care if the reigning defending champions haven't lost a match in 10 months. They can agree with me as well as anybody else out there. That's not a hole anybody can survive.
And imagine what that does to the comms in your squad when you lose that lead like that, right? And so you could just kind of see Pioneers losing a little bit of gas getting in. But I think one thing, even though sometimes it may look like they lose a little bit of gas, they never lose faith, they never lose hope, because they know that they can get it done. The Knights win by 59 in map number 1, but we got to head on over towards execution on Clocktower. And Jacob, I think the Knights got the cushion in which they needed. They haven't won a control map, and they won their control maps today. They won 2 in maps 4, but as far as that first control map, they've lost the first map in their series in, I want to say, pretty much most of them over the last week.
And I almost maybe want to say yesterday, too, against the United. No, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't United win game number 1?
Yeah, they won game number 1.
And then I'm trying to think the day before. Okay, no, the day before.
They 3-0'd them.
They 3-0'd the opposition. So,
for the matches we saw.
For the Knights, man, sometimes that reminds me of one person. And he's one of the most decorated player that we have ever seen throughout Gears Esports. I'm sad to see him retire, but franchise. His teams have a history of having that slow start in games number 1. But after that game 1, maybe halfway through that game number 1, he slaps him upside the back of the head and said, boy, y'all better wake up before I drop you right now. And guess what? They won a championship.
And, you know, and what's the skill set? And in that one, it comes down to not giving up, right? It's a chess match. Every one of these series is a chess match. So you lose map number 1, hey, you don't get out of the game just yet. You got to stay focused and worry about the other game types that's coming up. And yeah, and when it comes down to it, it's unfortunate we didn't get a chance to see Fran play when we had the 3 game modes with,
Right?
execution back and escalation and that whole mix. But, it would have been fun to see. But at the end, Dezonide still has those same characteristics of not giving up. This entire night squad knows that it can be turned around at any given moment.
Yeah, it definitely can, especially man when you kind of have that feeling. A player like Dezonide being able to just light up the kill feed, and when you have Dezonide that's going off with a lot of these power weapons, just look at how many of those fights were Dezonide being that person in the front with Raver, with Monkyz flanking around for free kill after free kill, double kill after double kill. So the Pioneers need to really think about what is going on, think about who they see and who they're calling out in one position. Because if you don't see Monkyz, you don't see Raver, and they're moving forward at you, they're probably on the flank.
Yeah, they're probably on the flank, all right? They always know where they need to be. They're fighting for some type of power position on a map, and you got to be able to check all your corners. You never know where 2 of our sneakiest players in a game will be. Dezonide has some of the most impactful flanks we've ever seen in major matchups, and Monkyz seems like he's always in the right place at the right time. So as long as those 2 players are always playing their position perfectly, Raver's going to have an opening. Fearzly's going to find himself an opening somewhere to make the play for the team. Now, we'll see if they can do that. It's execution on Clocktower. We watched the Pioneers play up against Purified, even with the sub, and that was a 6-0 victory. And I don't think it's much in which we can kind of really take from that one. But we do know one thing is that this is going to come down to a battle between that secondary and that sniper pillar. Those 2 lanes, that close quarter engagement, who can work dodging those utility grenades, getting out those shots, and retreating to safety, or baiting out their opponents to get their teammates some kills. Whoever can do that, the better should come out victorious in this map number 2.
We've seen that war for the mid pillar throughout this map, and that's why I love it, because it gives you options. We talk about that flex players, Xysho being able to pick up the sniper, players on the Pittsburgh Knights, no matter who it is, no matter who they traded off to, you have an option. If you have a player down, you have a player weak, you can easily pull out your shotgun and finish off that elimination instead of getting a sniper. But you can also pick up the sniper, try to back roll, get a body shot, get a headshot, and we all know it's Clocktower. When you get that weapon, you use one weapon to get the next. Go down low for frag grenades, go down low for the torque bow, and just keep the advantages in your hand.
Let's do this.
All right, here we go. Map number 2, the Knights versus the Pioneers. And Pioneers do not want to find themselves down 2-0 in this series. They're going to give it everything in which they got. Flash towards the back. It will connect. But you saw the pre-fire there from PK. That stopped that beautiful initial that we always see from the Pioneers and created an opening there for Raver to get into the jail. Man advantage for the Knights. They should get themselves another kill as they're going to be hunting this player down the stairs. Can't finish the fight, but they will when their battle's up top.
I honestly missed. I blinked, and he moved that quick. I blinked, and Raver got into that jail. For a moment, I didn't even see him there, and neither did KCP, which is how he was easily able to sneakily get through. And I almost want to rewatch that round to see how do you let him get there for free at that. They didn't even go for the sniper. They didn't even go for an early down on anybody. They just went for the positioning. So PK already bringing out the tricks.
Big individual play because there was a 2v2 matchup down the pillars where the Knights stopped the push, and I want to say it was 1v1 matched up down low, so he beat out the host spot player. Early flash from Dezonide. There's the pre-fire from PK. Even got the fire coming in from Bronny and Acells on the line through the smoke. There's the body shot. There's a double down. And you see PK too composed. Dezonide hits that shot. It's a 3v3, but he's downed out. Monkyz can't catch the snipe. He will. Back in cover. He needs one headshot to get this thing rolling.
Yeah, he needs to really connect with it. Body shot's definitely not going to be enough in this scenario because of the 4 players that's going to be charging at you. And depending on if they want to wait, not give him any opportunities, wait for the overtime, so it's going to put even more pressure on the Monkyz to hit the headshot, to see a flash grenade going towards the backside. They don't want to wait for that overtime. They want to wait for Hndles to get a back A, and that's going to be Monkyz down and out. Raver with a spin move, but it's not going to be enough. Pioneers have tied us up at 1 round apiece.
Not going to be enough. Pioneers, they're back at it. Acells, he got the El Huicho special there. Zombie, another day in the gym. But they got a lot of work to do. And I think that's just a warm-up, okay? We need to see the Pioneers sprinting in this map. But you gotta walk before you can run.
I said this about Rebel, and it almost makes me say it about the Pioneers, but they're just a different breed than a lot of these teams. Yeah, it's such an easy road to get here. Are you not as warmed up mentally and as focused as you should be?
That's a great question. The Knights is definitely the toughest team in which they fought all night long. We have seen a Pioneer start off slow before, but I don't think they started off slow in that last map. They let it get away from them. They got beat flat out right. Xysho with a snipe pickup. Multiple downs and kills coming through for the Pioneers. That's a 4v1. Last player left. Acells, Dezonide, full red. He trade. It's another round for the night.
So far, back-to-back rounds, it just seems like we talk about that flex play. They pick up the sniper. They're trying to get out alive, and the sniper kind of does. The player that has the sniper semi gets out alive, but everybody is dying trying to keep him alive. So I'm hoping these teams, both having success, both having not success on that strategy, begin to maybe turn it up. Choose the flex op, go for the eliminations, go for the extra down, instead of simply trying to pick up the sniper.
Yeah, we'll see who wants to make it on this side. Both teams on their good side have been playing very aggressive for it. And it's PK on their good side this round. The more defensive stance for the Pioneers. I love the flash into the pistol with a shotty out. He knows that he challenges these fights. He can't allow Acells to get his health back. He's gonna stay on him. Ooh, the cutback. Chess match between them both. Raver uses this nade. I love it. Can't get the kill, but can he get the flank? He will. Jukes him, not fully. Goes up top, committed. As the Pioneers press forward, Acells, he gets the call out for the team. Raver, he's being taken out, and there's going to be the Pioneers finding their advantages. They stay composed, great communication.
You know, the biggest blunder? Raver played phenomenal. You said it yourself. Flashed into the pistol. He had Acells dead to rights. Not only did Acells stay alive, he backtracked, right? And I'm thinking, Raver, that's so good. You got the positioning. You have the frags. You have their side of down low. You could chuck it straight towards the back pillar. You could chuck it straight into that host spot. Really disrupt the defense, even if you don't get the elimination, which would allow PK to push up Lancer, get the downs. But he chose the individual play. He chose the 1v1 Acells, and since he survived, it just crumbled the entire plan.
And you know what, Jacob? I will say that I think he may have got a call out that aggression came through from the Pioneers, and so he kind of had to just play it in his 1v1 spot. Regardless, the Knights got off to a great start. They're going to try to rebuttal, win one off the bad side. Dezonide picked up, not down. Raver with a shotty in this position, trying to put out max damage to keep these players' heads down, and he did the job. It's a full rotation here for the Knights. Those nades did connect. We heard two explode. So no more power weapons for the Pioneers. All they got is map positioning, but I will say sometimes that's all you need.
They're going to funnel down. Bronny goes through, makes the risky play, taking out Monkyz. That's going to be first blood. The rest of the team backs up. They pull out the Lancer. Another down going through. Dezonide was able to pop a shot to get one, but his teammates continue to push forward into their death. A body shot's going to connect with the sniper, but two players there. They can easily get the revive. He needs kills or nothing, and without a shotgun, he gets nothing.
Nothing at all. 2 rounds coming through for the Pioneers, and that's off the back of them taking it slow. Taking it slow. Letting the Knights make a bad play, and them, really just locking down that bottom lane. They're not playing a fast game anymore. So, in the Knights shift gears as well and slow this one down and force the Pioneers to make a play. But with them having that 1-round lead, they may stay in this defensive stance, knowing how aggressive their opponent has been. PK trying to show the aggression now. They didn't get the snipe pickup. They did use some utility grenades, though. Only 2. Still have 2 flash to work with. As the Pioneers, since they had that patience, they got all that utility to work with to make the play. Now it's going to come through.
Dezonide goes down towards the back pillar. Not only the flash, but him going down is basically a free sniper pickup. With Xysho going down, they're pushing across. Raver gets sniped down. Trades back and forth between both of these teams, but there's only going to be Fearzly, the last one standing for the let's say for the Pioneers, but for the Pittsburgh Knights. But it's the Pioneers who shut them down and go up 4-2. I think it's the first consecutive round won by either one of these teams.
And we haven't seen the Knights lose an execution in a good time. Okay. And we probably can say, well, I guess we can't say that against the Pioneers. We did see them lose that first control map against Fury 1 yesterday to kick off Pro League. But outside of that, they always come back to recover in maps 2, 3, and 4. And that trend seems to be true over these last 6 rounds. They have been a better squad, just slightly. We'll see if that continues for these last 2 rounds. Now, PK, they're going to leave Raver down low, matched up against Acells. Monkyz in host, solid shots. Tells Raver to go wild. He should get that one. The down comes through. The focus is on Bronny. It's pretty much going to be a 2v2 towards the snipe lane as they get these kills down low. The sniper does make it out. He can get a quick pop shot. He got Raver down low on the flank. But he can't get the rest of the kills. A great quick shot coming out from Xysho. But you saw PK. They did not give him any more space to work with.
Revive me!
That was just incredible execution by PK. Going into the host spot, lancering over the top, making sure they secured first blood. That guy in the host spot was uncontested because KCP was simultaneously trying to go for the sniper, in which they got out alive, but they didn't see the bull rush coming directly afterwards. Pittsburgh Knights are climbing back in to try to tie this up at 4 rounds apiece. CSL's looking down low, but the Pioneers just have all 4 players up top, likewise to the Knights.
No hit markers with that Lancer. That flash should allow for a pickup. It comes up a bit short. That's actually going to be a bad flash, a bad timed execution, and that's why all these players are down. It was designed to stun a back pillar as the snipe's getting picked up, but just a little bit slow there off the toss. Now the Knights, they do have the snipe, and they need the captain and Dezonide make a play now.
Later to give him opportunities. He might just snatch out one of them. Frag grenades, funneling some players around, trying to stay out alive. Acells does have one more. He's trying to pass it from that low spot to get some damage. Dezonide just takes a little bit of it, but he has to make sure that his teammates are there to back him up. Nobody's directly onto that back pillar, so you gotta be careful. He gets team killed. Raver takes out Dezonide with a simple pistol shot, but Monkyz waste no time trying to even it up. Another player, that's gonna be Xysho towards the back pillar. Raver lands a big shot with the sniper. Another down to come through, but nobody's able to clean it up. That's Monkyz by himself, shotting over the top, but he gets taken out by Acells, and the Pioneers are on map point.
Oh man, Dezonide, he was on his last down, and both those players were just so close in that secondary. Raver wanted to be there just in case that revive had to come through. And Dezonide probably would have been better just bonfiring that snipe, but that's hindsight. In the end, it's KCP 1 round away from getting this grand finals all tied up 1-1. We'll see if they can close it out as we're on board with Bronny and Xysho, as they're going to be supporting each other down this back lane. The early smoke towards the middle, but a few players aren't going to be marked to start. Gotta wait for those to go away as Xysho is still anchoring towards the back. Acells in a 1v1. Monkyz goes down. Xysho says, I can get this by myself with the stun, and he was right. Calls for the revive from Hndles as he rotates up top, and Xysho can anchor. He can command the troops. It's still 4v4. It's a battle for the nade. It could send some extra help down low. Raver, he gets taken out by Hndles, and you will see PK. They can't get the down on Xysho, but they will get the kill on Bronny. Through the window, connects on the body. Xysho, knowing that it's a 1v3, it's winnable. Not anymore.
That was close. That was close there between these two teams. And you see the down coming through. Raver, first blood onto Acells. And while that was going down, before Acells died, I saw Hndles trying to help his teammate and maneuver down low, but it was just a couple of seconds too late. And then you see Monkyz high flying like the Hardy Boys, Swanton bomb out of nowhere to take one soul and just end the round with the rest of his team.
Now we head into the round number 9, and the Knights get this one all tied up and get this one even. Stevens going into that round 11 after they were down. He just needs to take it 1 round at a time because they'll have a different type of momentum going into the 11 if they can make it there. Raver immediately on the flank. He sees, he backs up right away. Still has the angles for the cross. Monkyz presses forward. A quick headshot comes out for Hndles. Xysho misses the body. Monkyz taken out, and Fearzly disengages, but his team needed him there in the fight. And it is going to be a round 1 by the Pioneers, and this will be a team effort on the last guy.
Kind of like a mix-up from what we've seen so far, coming out the Pioneers all day long, struggling in map number 1, coming back, but still losing it. That's map number 2 is usually where they win their series, but it's the Pioneers with a 6-4 victory on the Clocktower have turned these tables around. And honestly, I want to say if history, but if reverse history is going to repeat, Pioneers win this 3rd map. So only time will tell.
Only time will tell. We are going over towards Training Grounds Escalation next. And so far, the big keys to the Knights being as dominant as they have been throughout this week is winning maps 2 and 3. And if they give up map number 3, their chances is looking slow for being in this series, because the Pioneers, they are looking in full form after that 2nd map. But with that being said, that's going to do it for me and Jacob for now. When we come back, we will have that Training Grounds Escalation ready for you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to EDAYS, as me and Jacob are about to head into map number 3, as well as everyone at home, against Pioneers and in the Pittsburgh Knights, as we're about to head into Training Ground. So far, so good. It's been a close matchup. Kansas City versus Pittsburgh up in the building.
Yeah, between these two teams, man, they're really testing each other's blades. Saw that close match number 1 where it was actually a comeback at the beginning/middle portion of the game for the Pittsburgh Knights, and a great attempt to come back from the Pioneers to end that one. This one was nothing short than entertainment. Nothing short of the pure joy. If you love Gears Esports, as battle after battle, shotgun fight after shotgun fight, KCP tie us up, and that's where we go into Escalation onto Training Grounds. And I gotta ask you, from everything that we've seen, we have seen the Training Grounds Escalation. What are your thoughts on this matchup on this map?
Woo-wee. It's hard for me, man, but I'm leaning for the Pioneers right now, because the simple fact is that I like them a lot better during that execution in the round-based game mode. And so far, both these squads, they've been tested in these first 2 maps, but I still think we're even. It's a lot to be told in this 3rd map, and I'm ready to see it. And it was one thing I thought about too. When it comes down to, the Pittsburgh Knights and the Kansas City Pioneers, I remember when both those orgs, they kind of formed themselves. It was around the same time. Yeah. And, it made me think, how many times have these organizations went up against each other in multiple different games? Because they have been out there a lot throughout console esports, and we love to have them. So this is just another one when it comes down to these 2 organizations fighting to be the best in Gears Esports and in all of esports. In map number 3, who can get the advantage going into that Regency control? You need that in this series. You don't want that pressure on your back in this type of pressure situation.
And last time we kind of seen this one, it was ideally PK versus Rebel. Rebel was that team to put the sniper down. PK still took advantage. Rebel then put that M-bar down, and PK still closed out the series. So no matter what gets placed down, I think PK is going to be ready. But on the side of KCP, they don't always put down those big weapons here on this Training Grounds map. They kind of force their opponents to change it up with how aggressive and in your face they are in terms of gameplay.
Here we go, folks. Map number 3. And we're going to have to get a restart. But it's a quick one. It is a quick one. Stalemate off the bat. Somebody kind of dropped their controller coming out of spawn, messed up their initial. Actually, I don't even think that's what it was. I saw all 4 members of PK going towards heaven, and that's definitely not the initial in which you want. But about to kick it off again. Officially, it's map number 3, and we're off to the races.
One of these teams here will get a big advantage going into the rest of the series, our grand finals of EDAYS. And this is week number 1. We changed up the format, so this is great qualifying points for one of these teams to get that cash prize at the end of the qualifying weeks. You see a battle towards the top half. Just flashes, basic flashes right now, because they know there's 2 players, Raver and Hndles, in their heavens, waiting for somebody to make a move so they can dish out that DPS. 2 players towards the low side. That's Monkyz versus Xysho, watching the flank. But the thing is, Xysho has the positioning over Monkyz.
He really does. Now, Xysho, he's going to be able to walk himself there towards the back of that U. Flash is banked off the wall. Xysho's going to try to go for Lancer angle. Beautiful movement from Acells to get the first blood. And now the revive there to recover in the fight. Heals cleaned up. KCP, they're going to go for the home hill setup. Player 4 versus 7. Monkyz comes in to help him out. Hndles trying his best to stay alive, and he will.
One of those
for a little bit. Now this will slow down the map a bit.
Yeah, but you can already see that they're holding on to that home hill. 2 players are going to be there, Xysho and Acells. So no matter what gets fought for, it's going to be an uphill battle, especially with Bronny in that overlook. Anybody coming out for respawn will get peppered up a slight margin. There goes 1 down already. Nobody's able to clean it up, so he will get revived back into the action, but Dezonide will fall. He was the one separated because of that down. Monkyz now trying to take one angle, alleviate the pressure, but Fearzly falls. Monkyz gets it down onto 1.
Oh.
He gets a kill. The walking double kill returns.
And now Raver has forced Xysho's hand. That play was possible because Raver went towards the underpass to distract Xysho on the cross. Raver has his lance route, but Shotty's out now. Hndles hits a beautiful wrap shot there to be able to get that down and quickly get back to the fight, but it was no fight to go to. He's going to position himself. B-Hill capture for the night. ACP, how long do they need to wait to make a move? Not long at all. They're going to get some players down at the range. They'll lose one. With that being said, KCP, they're going to have to slow it down again until they can get their 4th off the respawn.
Okay. Pittsburgh Knights, they have time. They don't have all the time in the world, but they have enough time because they are not going to win off the 2 hills. They need a triple cap domination, a triple neutralization, one or the other, and it seems like they're actually losing the neutral hill. Dezonide fears to get bled out. Monkyz is going to fall. Unless Raver can get this revive, it looks like his death will be the final nail in the coffin. Monkyz is going to get bled out. Hndles is going to go ahead and get that down onto Raver. Like I said, that final nail in the coffin, because you just can't be everywhere at once. You can't get past that defense. You even see Xysho overextending. So to come into map number 3, the Pioneers win the first one.
Yeah, they're gonna strike first, and that's off the back of that initial that they got at the overlook. Because once they won that, they got to the home hill, and from there they was able to slow the game down, prioritize their fights over towards B. And they staggered the deaths, and from there, they got a few big kills to slow it down. PK, once they won that fight on that home hill, they did have a chance to come back in it, but they got too overextended, and the Pioneers, they got their footing, and with that lead that they built early on, it was easy for them to close that round out. Heading into round number 2, a sniper placed right off the bat by PK. So they've been playing this strategy multiple times throughout the day, and they say, you know what, we're used to this initial, let's get into it once again.
I knew it was going to be the Pioneers that are going to put the pressure on their opponents to put that weapon down, especially knowing Hndles can kind of fight anything. You kind of throw it at him, he's ready to catch, and he's going to get that sniper out and try to position to help the rest of his team. Raver's going to be that first one down and out. The rest of the Pittsburgh Knights are forced to maneuver around, reposition themselves, and Dezonide's going for a flank. Body shot onto Dezonide. This is where Xysho could try to push up, but he's taking damage from across the map himself. That's going to be Monkyz who's there to save the day and keep Dezonide alive.
And that should be able to get his team to B-Hill, but he wants the home hill setup. And I don't blame him for the play because they got players at their home hill as well. But they don't go for the decap right off the bat. They just rotate towards their side of the map. PK isn't getting any points whatsoever. Now, once they win a fight, they need to, settle out. They're playing for the home hills. Still, they're 1. Bronny, he's still chilling. And relaxing.
Look at your minimap. Simultaneously, you got Xysho trying to break forward for the neutral. Hndles is going across. This gets dusted. He's just going to go to that overlook and cross over. But Bronny forces the team kill out of Monkyz. Finally, they're going to get their hill back. But exactly like I said, they lose the neutral. So 2 hills will continue to remain in the hands of the Kansas City Pioneers, especially with Hndles. As long as he stays up here, they're going to have to deal with him.
They got to. I think Monkyz, once he was rotating from B, he should be at home hill to stop the points from as many points gained as the Pioneers got. As PK were winning their battles, but they just was not quick enough taking their numbers. With that being said, PK still has overlook control, and they can win this map off of 1 team fight, and that's coming down to that win condition. They need they need the domination, okay? They need to win a fight to get B and play for that domination.
Honestly, they just have to be very, very careful because depending on the positioning, a squad wipe's not going to be enough. They might have to go for another round of slaying, but everybody's just getting downed out. Monkyz is going to get bled out. No one's there to save the day.
Oh, the flank.
Raver soon to follow, and like you said, the flank forcing the remaining 2 players into a blender as Hndles just overextends for the fun of it to go for a triple cap domination. 2-0 lead. The Pioneers over the Pittsburgh Knights, who are looking like a shell of themselves after those first 2 maps that we've seen.
Oh boy, oh boy. They are looking like a shell of themselves, and this is probably the worst way in which PK can win after not being challenged on execution and control throughout, majority of these last 3 days. The entirety of it outside of this matchup. So that's taken away a lot of the confidence, the way they're getting beat up over over that last map and this one. They need to find a way to regain with a few more placements on the map. We'll see with that extra utility. Can that be the difference maker? It's only going to be a slight one. At the end of the day, it comes down to winning the initials with the weapons on your back. Get that early advantage in escalation at this level that they need to take down the Pioneers. And with Dezonide going down, KCP with control, that's a man advantage for them once again.
Immediately seeing your minimap. Fearzly's trying to rotate over. We give up the power whip and we got to get something, and it better be this positioning. Try to stop them from being able to push through. We saw last round they did home hill to home hill. You see Acells being so sneaky. He's able to get that elimination. I did think he had some help from Hndles with the sniper and the body shot to keep it going, as 2 more players are going to be down. That's going to be Fearzly, Raver, full control, the home hill, everything going to the Pioneers to start this round off.
Hndles is going to rotate the sniper on over. They know that they got a home hill set up, so they'll play the top portion of the map and just call out the fights. I think what PK needs is to take 2v2 fights on each end of the map. They are played up. They are man on man for now, but Dezonide needs to get a little bit closer. I also think that Monkyz needs to possibly even rotate through the spawn as well.
I agree with you. It's going to be a hard thing to break. And the main thing that makes it hard, for me at least, is Hndles in that sniper. It's not like it's a Lancer where you can run past a lot of bullets. That's a full red shot if he does land it. And that's going to put a stop to everything. Exactly. That's going to be a down onto Raver. There goes Fearzly trying to be the hero, but he doesn't take his time. Hndles rushes that shot. And then rightfully so, that's Dezonide on his flank going ahead and securing that elimination. And now they're going to take the 2v1 onto Xysho. That puts pressure on Acells. He's going to trade, but get taken down. An opportunity for a triple cap domination as they win the other side of the map as well. Bronny, you need a miracle for the Kansas City Pioneers to keep this round alive. A great flash grenade to drop the meat. They get the reset, so this one will continue, but Bronny going down. He gets taken out. Hndles falls shortly after. Nobody close enough to get the reset. The Knights show life here in the 3rd round.
Woo, and that's off the back of Dezonide being able to get towards that overlook and cause some commotion at the home hill across. And then, even then, you saw Hndles miss that one snipe off that revive down low on the Pittsburgh Knights home hill. He hits that body shot. I think his teammates can win that 2v2 fight, and they are still in this round. But ultimately, it was PK. They made the perfect play with them not having that home hill set up. They split out their opponent's defenses, and they won their fights.
Trying to see snipers down. That's going to be upgraded. Yeah, I was going to say, that's going to be upgraded 100%. And what do you think? When we first saw this, it was all shock grenades all the time. Now everybody's just throwing those instants out. Is that instant kill potential that much more worth than kind of forcing somebody out of position with the shock?
I agree. I think it is nowadays because not everybody's playing so top heavy at the overlook. And when you got the shock grenade up there, you can really gain a lot of points in the second half at the E-hill and key map control. But with the sniper weapon in the mid-map, Jacob, you have those incendiary grenades. It gives you a lot more opportunities. Or you can create them with the snipe like Bronny's doing, as he has the weapon in hand. 4 shots left. Created an opening for his team already to capture the B-hill. The Pioneers want a little bit more than just that. Trying to get the victory now.
Acells kind of made it a little bit easier getting that elimination. Another body shot is going to connect. Dezonide gets taken out by that instant kill potential we were just asking about. If you can hit that instant, it's worth it. 10 out of 10. Now Monkyz is under siege. He's figuring out a way to survive, though, forcing players into different spots, but Hndles with the flank. It's just going to be too much. Right now, PK is getting systematically taken apart. It's like Pioneers have been doctors. They've been surgeons for years, and they're just operating on their opponent right now. Spleen, we don't need that. Kidney, we can sell that. Liver, nah.
Brain, yeah,
they don't have that.
Oh man, the Pioneers picking them apart one by one, round after round, just trying to see what makes PK tick, what's giving them momentum, and then taking it away from them. We'll see if the trend continues as the Pioneers. This is a slow surgery, but you know it ain't no rush. They work out to spend long hours in the ER putting in that work.
They just had no scrims lined up. So if they 3-0'd all 3 of these games, they would have been done. They wouldn't have been playing. They would have been forced to play wagers. And I don't think anybody wants to face these guys in wages the way they're playing right now, unless Dezonide has something to say about it. But nope, he's going to stay silent.
Jacob, me and you go 2v2.
I'm down.
Acells and Hndles.
I'm so down.
I'm with it. Okay, you think they'll play
you
it?
To ask me that. We play
Bro,
all the
you know
games
they don't
together.
play casters because they don't want to lose just in case. They want to protect their ego.
I was trying to get Detox. I was trying to get Detox to
because
face
I
somebody.
can't beat you in a 2v2 then come cash your game and talk about you the best in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it ain't gonna sound right no more.
I remember Detox and the Vexies were looking for a wager. I told him, yo, just tell them you're playing with me. Let's bait him into it.
Nope. But when it comes down to bait, Hndles, bringing these players into the hill, Acells is waiting in the winds, rotates towards the spawn, doesn't connect with the snipe, crosses from the side, can't play his life. The M-bar is going to go down as well, and both power weapons, well, not both, one will be left on the ground, and that's 3 shots at the M-bar. They don't know if Bronny had it out. Did they go back and pick up that kill? Not just yet. That M-bar, actually, Idiot can pick it up at Monkyz, but can he get away? He's been chased. The Retro Lance is trying to hold down a hill on a capture. Monkyz did not get away. Lancer down. Xysho's doing a great job playing his position because help is coming.
How is he doing this?
Oh, comms, Jacob. All comms.
Yeah. Who was that on the flank? Was that Hndles? That has to be either Bronny or Acells screaming at him to watch his back. He turns around at the right time
Acells.
to end a life. And those are the type of teammates you need, Blaze. Not the ones that'll say, hey, he's behind you. You need somebody to yell it in your ear. Exactly. That urgency needs to be felt.
Say it 10 times until you can get it. Because when it comes down to playing at a high level in any esport, any rank game, sometimes you're so focused on your play that you need the call out to be said 2 to 3 times for the process. Not because you're not listening, but because you're trying to be the best out there.
Good moves by Bronny to try to stay alive, but even better moves by Raver to push across and Acells and then take out one more. Triple cap domination for just a short moment, but he's going to be broke by the Pioneers. The last remaining member of the KCP that's alive for this moment is on its opponent's home hill, and that's where the Pioneers are going to have all this time because look at Xysho. He has 2 players on him playing Ring Around the Rosie here for a show moment. He should go down regardless, but the damage has been done. 3 players were actually pulled back for him.
Yeah, they were. Now, even with those 3 players just engaging there, the M-bar shots missed by Fearzly. He takes a big shot, gets some help. Bronny goes for the kill. Couldn't make it happen. Acells plays for the heal. He's going back to the respawn. The Knights in a great spot to take this round. They don't have to play for anything more if they don't want to, and honestly, they shouldn't. Player 2, he's going to rush across to win a 1v1. That's the closest heal in which he can get. But in this moment, Pioneers, no, it was a long shot. A long shot indeed.
Yeah. At least they almost got that decap. Just a second too late. Just a couple seconds too late. But they need to have that.
But you know what? You just said all they needed was the decap.
Yeah.
They didn't even need the other hill. I was thinking they needed to get 2. Yeah, that was closer. Super close round. But I say that to say too, the 1v1 player played his job right. He should have pushed. You know, he thought about it, but and even the Knights thought about it as well. They shifted 2 players over just in case that guy possibly did lose a 1v1 because they knew the Pioneers didn't have too many plays to make. But the only possible one, they prepared themselves. And even though it's a slight rotation in the later portions of the rounds, it just shows me that the Knights are understanding where the perfect plays have to come through for the Pioneers for them to get victory. So they're thinking at a high level. They're thinking quickly. But this is going to be an important round for them to get this series tied up 3-3. They were just a few points away from being down 4-1 in this map number 3. The flashes go to the back view. The incendiaries will not connect, but it will put enough pressure on Bronny for him to have to go back to the respawn. Up top, Acells goes for a 1-shot. Now he has to retreat. Needs Xysho help, but his hands are full. A snipe comes through across map for Hndles. This is the headshot, but he has his home hill defended.
2 hills to 1 though. Hndles. I wanted to see him try to rotate around and be behind, get a line of sight on the M-bar so that they might forget about him, but as soon as they pick up that M-bar, they're going to remember as soon as their heads pop. But 2-1, this is where the Knights have that cushion. They have the M-bar, and they have that full setup. So this is where it's going to be up to Hndles, maybe hit a body shot, the rest of the team kind of push through. So they're going to be trying to push towards up top.
2 marksman weapons in the hands of the Knights. They missed the M-bar shot. They don't miss that one, and that's really what they needed. A great headshot there coming out from Raver. And I said 2, it was only 1, but that will be the round. A hard-fought battle for the Knights. They said, you know what? You guys can have the snipe. We'll take the M-bar and control a V.
Yeah, and the M-bar was directly into the fight, which really made the difference because, like I said, Hndles could have prevented that up if he would have rotated towards the U instead of trying to bring it up top. That's neither here nor there because the Pittsburgh Knights have tied us up at 3 rounds apiece. Slow and steady wins the race, and both of these teams, man, they're playing a match of chess.
It really is a match of chess. Incendiary grenades built up at the bottom half of the map. But we do have a discrepancy at the lower secondaries. As you see, the shock grenades are going to be there. That tells me that the Knights, the Knights were the team to put both those centerline power weapons down. So they're mixing up this fight how they want. But that's a free snipe picked up for Xysho. Incendiary stops the pickup of the M-bar. That's not what you want from PK. They didn't even get control over top Overlook. They're not playing the fights that they need to come out successful if they give up the snipe the way that they did.
They knew on the side of the Knights, they couldn't save that teammate that was in the hill down. That was Raver, because that's just a high-risk sniper. Lancers, everything looking at you, you're begging to die, but it doesn't matter either way because of that player going down. Pioneers have the advantage. They slowly but surely were able to push through, get that neutral hill, and you can kind of see everybody. Xysho's backing up. He wants to get information, be able to rotate to help Hndles across the map, where you talked about it to start the round. That mismatch with that shock grenade. You can't push through. Even if you do, it's blocked off just like that, and it buys your teammates so much time to do anything else on the map.
That mismatch is going to be there for another round as well. Great shot coming out for Acells, and even Xysho has a long-range angle below. Well, heads up play, but now he has to deal with the fight down low as well. That's a big battle for Monkyz. He's worried about Acells. He dodges the shot, and Monkyz isn't wasting any time getting into this engagement. Acells knows the help is coming, but help won't come quick enough. Monkyz gets sniped by Xysho in the chest. The flame comes through for Dezonide. Oh, that hurt. That hurt a lot as Xysho wins the fight. Pistol was popping, but can he wins the second fight? Will he? Raver holds his ground. Here comes Hndles to save the day. They do have a cross. Well, they don't have a cross from heaven. With Raver going down, the Pioneers will stay in control over this round. Monkyz made a lot of great plays, Jacob, to create an opening, but in the end, it's still Pioneers with control.
The help is just absolutely insane on the Pioneers and the way they play in order to get that help for one another. Acells gets the down, Monkyz gets the elimination. They're going to be able to clean that one easily as Bronny rotates over. Another big 1v1. I think it's him versus Dezonide, and Dezonide comes out on top. That's going to be a big one. If I'm Bronny, I try to crawl deep into the spawn. Yes, Dezonide. No, he didn't get the break. He didn't get the break plays. He did the blunder to go after the elimination, and it's going to cost him the round because his teammates broke the neutral hill. A big blunder from Dezonide had cost them the round, and now the Pioneers are on map point.
He rolled out a second too soon. And he wanted to make sure that nobody can come off the respawn and get the revive on Bronny, so he realized it at the last second. Man, talk about a close round, and you were right, the break came through. That could have been a comeback there for the Knights, but instead, we're going to a round number 8. And I said we were going to have a discrepancy in some of these power weapons. No way they blocked that. I don't think they blocked that this round. They've been getting it for free, and they're just going to put some more ammo in it.
Yeah, because they don't want to block it. It's exactly that. They don't want to block it. They already have incense. They already have shock grenades. They don't want to put something additional down towards the range. So that only leaves that left over as an option. They're saving their block for round 9 as a cushion. We lose this one, they're going to have to do it without either a shock or an incense.
Yeah, that last round, PK is going to have to win off their initial. They won't have any nades to work with the last round if they win this. Dezonide with the incendiaries. Xysho is going to be weak in the middle, but since that's a 1v1 spot, he will get the snipe for free and get out. M-bar in the hands of PK. Body shot there on Fearzly. He can't peek again. Dezonide is going to be found by Xysho. It's a sniper battle. The pre-fire's there. Oh, no. Oh, that hurts.
He can't roll.
He's toasty. He can't go nowhere. Daisy survived, and he will not. To the flames. It's gonna be a sniper on the ground, but here's the flank. A big round for the Knights. They gotta go for it, Jacob. They can't back up and let this fight reset. They might have to. Will they find a sniper in the corner? Call it out. Oh no.
That's great heads up play.
We'll bring the M-bar a little bit closer though. On the ground.
No, the M-bar's out of play. Dezonide just shot that last shot knowing that sniper was there. That's a great IQ play from Dezonide, who's also having a series of his life. This is almost like we're in the major already, but this season has just began. So for us, this is just a treat in the making. You see the damage being spread around, and it's Xysho and Acells with the brunt of that. You see Dezonide doing what he can to try to hit the body shots. Cross coming out from Fearzly. Another body shot hit. And this is where the difference plays, and we see it all the time. Leaving a player alive like that, allowing him to push through, could be the mistake that Dezonide needs to hit those headshots.
Dezonide trying to get through the smoke, not relying on the marks though. Misses the body. The flash connects. Xysho wants to make a play.
Bronny on the flank.
Did not. Bronny has the angle. They both go up top. That's a great reposition. Monkyz trying to come in and be the third man into this fight to help his teammates out. He does just that by protecting the flank. But up top, Acells wins his battle. Fearzly can't get away. Bronny's there for the cross. Monkyz had to disengage and get back to the home hill. The Trip Cat was being threatened.
Oh my god. that looked clear as day to me, but good thing I don't have to make the decision as the ref. And if you look at that, they do have it. They can win off of one uncontested hill. We've seen the Pioneers in this position before. They take their time. They get the information, and they make a final push as a team. They have the M-bar. They don't have too much utility on the side of the Knights. They have flashes, and Dezonide has those instants. This is it, boys.
Xysho's gonna pre-fire a lot of these M-bars to keep these players' heads down. Bronny win huge. Hndles win huge as well. Few more seconds needed. Will it get to 47? It will. That's the round. We're going to a 9.
It's not the round. What? Bronny got in. Xysho got the kill. They steal the round, and they steal the map away from the Pittsburgh Knights. No round number 9. We're going to a game number 4.
Like you said, Jacob, I hate to be the ref to call that one. All right. It seems
God
like
we don't have that
gods,
job.
you know, they came in with a different call out. They said, you know what? We in KCP. Bronny gets there at the nick of time in the flank. I was looking at the clock because it was like, even though it was a 4v2, the timing was just, it was there. And we thought it was there for the Knights. They just had to just hold them off for a few more seconds. I swear, Bronny got in that hill at 48. It's just a split second off.
And not only that, though, the guy could have like hopped into the hill, right? He could have tapped it. But the M-bar, I think it was Hndles at the end. I think it was. Xysho gets the M-bar shot to save Bronny from even having to fight the 1v1, for even chancing the reset on that hill.
Wow. What a map that one was. It was close in those last 2 rounds. Cat could have went towards PK. That's just a testament to how close the match has been. Now, you're going to have to see PK control map against another control map against the Pioneers and get to that tomb execution of map 5. But ultimately, you know, I think we can all agree this has so far been a great ass series of Gears of War.
One of the best we've seen in EDAYS history, and I'm even watching it on my second monitor. I need to know exactly what happened. Where was Dezonide's incendiary grenade? Where was the whole setup from the roster? Because they had time to set up, so they really dropped the ball. And I just really hope, Blaze, that's not a deflator, because you said we're having one hell of a series. You can't let that end here before the series is actually over.
Dezonide died. He died to Bronny after he got the nades, but he used them both. Looking at the replays. Whoa.
That's exactly it. I'm not going to say he choked, Blaze. I'm not going to say he choked. Dezonide. I'm not going to say he choked. But if he kills one of those 2 members, Xysho with the M-bar or Bronny who decapped the kill, guess what? That one's still probably going. Because Raver has a chance.
Or if he stayed alive for just a little bit longer, right?
Anything, Blaze. Dezonide, you're playing so good. What is going wrong when the pressure is on?
For real. Man, no mames, all right? That was just, that was a close map. All right, we're going over towards control on Regency is next. And man, what a close one this has been. All right. But PK now with their backs against the wall, they're gonna have to show ourselves and show us a different level with them being behind in this series for the first time up against the Pioneers. But so far, man, the Pioneers, when they find themselves in these winning positions to close out the series, they get even better as well. Reflecting on our first control map in which we watch, how do you feel like this next one can go?
Honestly, it has nothing to do with the first control map that we watched.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a Pioneers closeout simply because of how that one ended. We've seen it so
Mm.
many times, and most recently in this last major, Pittsburgh Knights, they're making noise, they're making waves, they're cheering up the crowd, they're looking like they're going to make history. And a choke like that, they come out the next map, they're flat as can be. And I'm not going to say it's a choke of all chokes because it's not. You have two of the best players in the world taking on Dezonide in a 1v2 situation. It's just the effectiveness. When you really look at it, the opportunity to close out the ground for your team, to go ahead and possibly win it at the end of the day, and you don't win or hit one of those two instances, that's something even Dezonide can agree. He had the chance to make the play, and he came up short.
Back-to-back rounds, all right? In the previous one, he doesn't roll out that hill. That's a decap. He has teammates coming for that domination there on the previous round.
Okay, maybe he choked. Maybe he did choke. Maybe he did. Like, I'm sorry. I take it back.
Hey, well, at the end, when it's all said and done, we'll see how he chooses to recover on his Regency control because
Yeah.
I know he's taking a lot of that pressure and taking a lot of the weight of them losing that map. And you're gonna see a lot of legendary IGLs do something like that. Say, hey guys, it's on me. It's on me. Even if it ain't on you, sometimes it's on me. I
Stop
should
the
have made better
bickering,
call out.
stop the guessing, stop anything. Yeah, exactly what you said, Blaze. Just go ahead, man up for it, and just move on to the next one. That's what I want to see. That's what I say. I don't want to see a deflated not Pioneers, the Pittsburgh Knights come out here on Regency, because that's going to be an aggressive map as well from start to finish. We see it. They bull rush their way towards the backline on the side hills. They go ahead and angle out the bottom side hills. And then obviously the middles is just all out war. So you have to make sure you're in it every step of the way. And that's one of the trends that I've seen from the Pittsburgh Knights. I just hope it doesn't continue here today.
Yeah, for real, and we'll see what happens. PK, this is, their biggest test so far. This has actually been both these well, yeah, this has been PK's biggest test for sure. And I will say for the Pioneers as well. That's how important this EDAYS finals is, especially going into the next week of Pro League. You want to see how your opponent is playing with some money on the line in the big matchup. See how prepared are they currently in this first week. So you can gather your intel and keep collecting that intel until we get towards the major. And so far, we can see that Jacko has a perfect plan laid out for the squad, and they're executing it flawlessly. So, Regency control, Pioneers, perfect position to close out this series, unless the Knights going to come back and show us how sharp those fangs still are.
Yeah, they're going to have like Mariano Rivera type memory, the pitcher's mentality, be able to forget that you might have given up a home run, forget that you might have given up an RBI double. It's the bottom of the ninth. You still have 3 outs. You still have 2 more chances in 2 different maps to take the series overall. But now you need to show that you guys are championship caliber material. How many times you're going to be okay with getting second place, Blaze? How many times are you okay with being the bridesmaid and never the bride? Enough is enough for the Pittsburgh Knights. I want to see them come back in this game number 4, convincingly beat the Pioneers, and intimidate them going into that game number 5.
And if they could do that this early on, I think that gives this team a lot of confidence in every series in which they plays from this moment out, because they know one thing, that they have the team comp to do what they couldn't do in that last grand finals of the major. And so they can build off of that week in and week out, but they got to get this victory under their belt in the trophy case for them to be able to do just that. It's map number 4 on beautiful Regency. Let's see if the Pioneers can finally close this one out. Chat, you guys have been awesome all throughout the night. This could be our final map, so I want to see you guys blowing it up in there for the one time, all right? Here we go.
Last chance to show which team you want to root for, and that's what it said. It was, 64 to about 36%, something like that, when it came down to the predictions at the end of the day. And I kind of had it here on the notes. Even though the majority of the points went in way of the Kansas City Pioneers, I believe they may be having 1 million more points voted for them. About 141 114 actual votes with the Pioneers. A lot more people are voting the Pioneers to win, but I just don't think they want to put their money where their mouth is. And I think a lot of people, man, if I see somebody vote 1,000,000 points for me, I'm going to be trying my all-time hardest.
Yeah, for real. The entire chat says, you know what? Tonight is the night. We want to go all in on PK. And hey, you can get a good return on your channel points, you know. And when it comes down to it, there are a few series where we come across where it's like, this can go either way. It can go either way. You can go this way or that way. And you put your channel points down. It makes it a little bit more exciting. All right, Jacob, I know you got what, 11K on the Pioneers? You got folded? Oh,
I love you, Blaze. I love you, Blaze. Thank God. I don't know if anybody else would have got that one because he just needs to unfold himself. Just unfold. Take that crease out.
Open up.
It out. There you go.
Open it up once
just
again.
Give us the full page again. Give us the full page, Dezo. Stop getting folded like a picnic table. I didn't even have any of the food this time around.
Yeah, for real. And dang, you just had to mention food as we're in our grand finals now.
There will never be a gear stream where I don't mention food. Halfway through, I'm getting hungry. All this action, I feels like I'm getting a workout in.
Makes me want to go preheat my oven right now because I think it's a pizza night for me. All right, hell, go get a frozen pizza out the fridge. You know, go cook it. Throw some jalapenos on top. I might even throw some extra cheese and some garlic. I got garlic. Oh yeah, I might do that.
I don't always eat the jalapenos, but I always get jalapenos on my pizza. I pick them off. I just love the flavor. I love the smell. I don't know, Blaze. Don't ask. People know me and my weird food takes, but I love the taste. I love the smell. I just don't want to crunch on them.
You get jalapenos
and I pick them off.
You take them off.
Yeah.
Okay, you want the spice.
Yeah,
I understand, but there is a condiment like red pepper flakes.
I do that
put
too.
on top.
I do everything.
Oh, okay.
Like spice.
All right, valid.
Depending on the hot sauce it is, sometimes I'll put hot sauce on my pizza, man.
So, Jacob, while we're getting this reset going, all right? Your favorite pizza topping, okay? If you had to pick 3 toppings on a pizza in chat, I'm going to ask you guys as well. 3 toppings, okay? On a pizza, what are your top 3? For
Pepperoni,
me,
classic.
Okay.
Jalapenos, love the flavor, love the taste. And then normally I would say bacon, but lately it's been making the pizza a little too greasy. It's been making it a little too salty. Maybe sausage is the thing.
Jacob, pepperoni, bacon, jalapenos is mine.
We could share a pizza, man. I'm eating 4 slices,
okay?
though. I'm letting you know. I'm eating 4.
Pepperoni, bacon, jalapenos is the best pizza you will ever get in your life. A crispy, thin crust, a deep dish that's delicious and determined to get you full, whatever it may be. Pizza for us. Now, the Knights and the Pioneers, they're giving us a match in which we are absolutely loving here. Shout out to you guys for home and watching it. Monkyz wins a big battle. It's the Pioneers collecting on time. But power weapons, still battle. Monkyz gonna have to retreat and possibly give up these nades. Bronny actually moved in to fight him. Monkyz surprised that he challenged him, but couldn't hit the shots that he needed. Bronny may get Actually, Bronny will be able to rejoin with his team. They have all the weapons in which they need to take the kill back.
Dezonide sneakily waiting towards the outside. Nobody really even saw that one coming from a mile away. He's able to shut down one player of the Pioneers and honestly make them change routes entirely. Nobody entering or even trying to leave out that middle door. In fact, they're falling back, trying to play for this next hill. We saw how that first map went. A great mid-game push from the Pioneers led them to victory. I should say the Pittsburgh Knights, excuse me there. And a great start in this game from that same squad.
Great start indeed. KCP. Got the spawns locked in. Acells get the mark. He sees Raver. Finally saw the second, and that's going to back him up a little bit further. Hndles is going to be his first point of help. Hndles worried about the hill in front just now, but Acells backed all the way up. He stuns one. Cuts the gap for a fight. And he got some help. Xysho was able to hit Raver with the long shot. And Acells will come through the spawn. He's the last man standing. Completely rotates around, and he's going to keep this hill neutral. Well, he doesn't keep it neutral. He's gaining points. But Monkyz, he's going to get 2v1, and Acells can stay alive for help to come. Another quick 2v1 on the side of the Knights. But this battle is ongoing. I think we can finally officially say that the Knights will start getting some time as Pioneers is waiting for their teammates to respawn.
Yeah, they get that low respawn on the side of the Pioneers, so they're going to quickly try to move into positioning, but you got to think Raver's still rotating all the way around. Whoever wins this battle will get themselves a possible M-bar, a possible shock grenade, and already Monkyz gets a down elimination onto Bronny. Hndles gets revived back up, and at the right time to do just that is he gets that elimination onto Dezonide. 3v3 will continue. Acells goes down for a quick moment, revive back up. It's Hndles that's trying to be the savior. He gets one. He gets it down onto a second player. Acells is going to clean that one up, and it's Monkyz trying to be the hero at the end of the day. He gets shut down, but it's actually no. Dezonide, an early death, awards him that M-bar.
And because of that, him and his squad can hold their position. They'll make sure that their opponent has to rotate from the low side of the map through the garden to get control over P3 at the gold. That was a great battle for them because they get to play downhill into the hill with the M-bar, and look at him hitting these shots. Not much Xysho can do. He did a great job dodging that shot to get his health back. And nade traps Raver. Dezonide. Oh man. Looking for the second, but Acells just turning his head left and right, dodges it. He's not going to be able to dodge the flash. Raver can't get the kill just yet. Acells has the help. The shock grenade protected them from the wide. That's kept the Pioneers in this fight to possibly win it. It's a 3v3, trapped in a corner. EK just looking for one down, looking for a hero, and it's Fearzly. He leaves his 1v1 to help the team win the big battle, and that's gonna leave the Knights with a 2v1 to worry about, but they lose the spawns because Fearzly had to leave this position.
I like it though. Fearzly being exactly what they need. He gets taken down, but it's going to be a trade, I do believe, as Hndles gets taken out as well. That's going to be Xysho getting downed out by Monkyz. Players trying to bull rush the hill to get the revives. As they find out they don't, now they're forced to fight. Backs against the wall. Acells gets two. He's going for a third, and he shuts it down. Acells has woken up, and the Pioneers have now begun to gather these points. By the time this one's said and done, they got to be around 60 to 70 for KCP.
Oh, man. Here we go. Fearzly, he's taken out right away. And the Pioneers, they're going to rotate off gold, and they're already set up at the next hill, just 30 points away from being able to take the lead. So far, so good for them. It's a lot of scrap time on the opposite hill. Well, it was 19 seconds. With the M-bar being picked up for Xysho, player 2 being Dezonide, I think he's going to move down for the shock. Yeah, Pittsburgh Knights is just taking their time. They may even be able to get these nades. They were. Xysho couldn't get the rev. Almost caught that player off guard, but they will know his position. EK needs to make a play soon. I don't know what they're waiting for when it comes down to player 4 down low with those nades. Raver needs to move up, make something happen. No, that's actually Monkyz. Oh my. That's the biggest move up.
That was a great shot by Xysho again to end that last escalation. Then once again,
and Hndles got the nades. Hndles went down there, picked them up off the ground. All advantages in favor of Pioneers.
Monkyz already learning a lesson. Great smoke, but he's bull rushing way in there. That's a great shot over the top, but Monkyz is going to drop. His teammates are not there to get the revive, but they get the trade. That's going to be Bronny being dropped down. Hndles is going to fall as well. The revive quickly out. Fearzly gets baited. He's going to get shut down. Raver by himself. 1v3, and the angles come through. Pioneers close out that elimination and get the remaining 30 seconds left, or at least I want to see them get the remaining 30 seconds. While Knights, I want to see them set up for next. You should not be trying to contest this, because if you lose this battle, you put yourself in a deeper hole.
You do not want to find yourself in that deeper hole. This is a chess match. Even though you're losing this battle, you can get 2 solid setups on the next 2 hills and win those, especially with us going over towards Fountain and Couches is our next 2 corner hills. This scrappy battle is about to conclude soon. Looking like it may be a victory for the Knights, but the Pioneers have a last-second flank coming in on both sides. Hndles got taken out and is now Acells by himself. The spawns get go in favor of the Knights, so they got the high side of the map.
Long spawn for KCP, so they're going to meet each other kind of at a similar timing, but the high ground is going to go over to the Knights. This is where it is going to get interesting. They're trying to push through before the shot can get into place. Flash is going out. Smoke grenades really causing a lot of distraction. The shock is there. Nobody's able to get that revive onto Fearzly, but same could be said. And for a few seconds, as Bronny does get revived, though, 3 players are sticking together as close as they can so they can get these revives. But somebody needs to push back behind enemy lines to kind of distract Raver. Otherwise, they're just going to be sitting there waiting for the Pittsburgh Knights to make their move.
Now,
Flashbang now!
Here comes PK. Flash towards the back. Bronny and Acells, they stay together. Fearzly cannot save Raver, and now he needs to try to disengage because his other teammates are playing their lives. Dezo said, I won't let you fight alone, my brother. He dies. Monkyz runs back for the respawn, but player one didn't get it. Will the next two be able to? They won't. They're going to play for the embark. Still a lot of time on that hill, and the Pioneers, they have control over this map now, Jacob.
Nice body shot on the one. Bronny's weak at the other one, but so is Monkyz. He's at least trying to get with his team. With only 16 seconds left, they're setting up for next. But Blaze, they have given up a ton of points on that last hill, so they need to win 2 big team fights. The first team fight is going to solidify them on this hill. The second team fight is going to come away of the Pioneers trying to push, which is going to hold that hill and gain those points. But if you see the Pioneers, they want to go down low. They want to get the spawn point first before they try to work their way upward to get the actual hill.
And these spawns worked out for the Knights a lot. About Monkyz rotating back against the M-bar, it spawns for his team at next. It was only about 20 points of scrap time when that happened. Acells hit a solid shot. Doesn't have any extra help. Raver taken out. Hndles down low, being locked down by this Lancer. Fearzly can't do it by himself. Luckily for him that he's going to have some help since Monkyz found a kill up top. One player should drop back to Fearzly, but he's actually going to be by himself in a 1v3. Hoping his teammates can win this battle without losing anyone else. They weren't able to do that. So numbers still in favor of the Pioneers as they get the spawn. And these last 2 members of the Knights need to stay alive until Monkyz can get back to the fight. But it's going to be hard to do because the Pioneers, they're not giving them any time to work with, forcing the fights in which they want. PK trying to figure it out, but they just cannot get it done as they will lose a few more players. Haven't been able to be a full 4-man unit over these last 30 seconds.
It definitely has been a while, and they're honestly kind of getting outscored. I think the last 3 hills, it's about 130 to about 39 points. So Pioneers doing everything right as of recently, winning a lot of the battles, and they're continuing, like you said, not allowing PK to work as a cohesive unit. They need to figure out a way to stop the bleeding, whether you're hiding in a corner waiting for your team to spawn up, or you're winning a lot of these team fights, which they're not, so they got to come through the ladder, figure out a way to stop this bleeding, because if they don't, Pioneers will continue to steamroll over them, and they will win this series 3-1.
Pioneers will play for any objective in which they can find, even if they truly don't even need it in the moment. But if they know they can get it, they'll walk away. Like man advantages, taking 2v1s, always staying proactive. You never see them slow down throughout the map. If they win a team fight, their next objective, how much map control can we get? Can we find any numbers advantages? Even if they're sitting pretty, you never see them anchored like that unless they know that they have no other plays to make. And from there, that's probably even when they're scariest because they're all on the same page. Bronny with 4 shots in the M-bar, 3 fully active. A quick rev. Goes for Raver through the smoke. Can't connect on Dezo. Pulls out a nade. He got it all. But what can he do with it? He gets 1, can't get the second. But with that kill, focus fire. Blind fire won't come out. Monkyz finds the kill. Bronny, he gets a big battle. But the Pioneers will continue to collect in that time. Big fight won by them, Jacob. They got themselves not in a victory position yet. They got to play for next, but they're really close. These last 3 hills have been dominant.
Yeah, it definitely has. 9 points on the one before this, 16 ones before that. Right now, the Pittsburgh Knights, they might be winning individual battles, but it's just nothing to take home and write home about, because they're not getting any points. They're not getting any position. Like, they're not even getting a lot of these weapons, and there's only so much pressure you can put on one person to try to perform, as there goes the Lancer fire from Raver and Fearzly, trying to down out their opponents. Bronny even goes down. Fearzly not letting up off that trigger. Monkyz finds one. Dezonide finds another. Fearzly goes down, but it's a 2-for-1 trade. Make it a 3-for-1 trade as Acells does get taken down. The last member alive is going to be Xysho. Even if he dies here, Blaze, it's about the time he buys the rest of his team to make that rotation over, which isn't much.
Isn't much at all. And the rest of the squad may wait for him. They know that this isn't looking good. They need the whole team together. Nades just got picked up by the Pioneers as well. They'll be in the hands of Bronny. Player 3 on the flank. Hndles knows it though. He knows that it's not a safe area for him just yet. All power weapons in the hands of the Pioneers. I like how they slowed the game down with this lead that they have. They knew they didn't have to rush it. But Fearzly, he's just making sure players can focus on him. He's put himself out of play. Pioneers only got about 3 seconds to work with while they got the advantage. It's going to be 1 player left. No one left. big fight won by the Knights. It's going to be the Pioneers having to play for next. And they lost a lot of power weapons off that battle.
Yeah, I'm sensing 3, possibly 4 team fights here needed to at least tie the game for the Pittsburgh Knights. And they have to be consecutive team fights because Pioneers, they just need one set up, bleed the hill dry. And this is where everybody's going to try to rotate off 171, 261. That's going to be a 90-point lead for the Pioneers here. They don't have to worry. They don't have to get stressed. They just need to play their game. Even if they get wiped here, that's okay.
If the Pioneers even lose this fight, they're going to respawn up with power weapons again. And so they'll be able to have that to work great and get these last 40 points that they need. The hill hasn't rotated yet. Moves over in 3 seconds. But the fight starts now. Multiple players trying to funnel up these stairs. They're taking a lot of damage. PK can't find a kill. They're going to lose 3 members. And Dezonide trying to make something happen. He can't get it done. And it's going to be a far spawn from the Pioneers. This is what I'm talking about. When they get team wipes, how defensive do they want to be? Actually, really defensive since they're this close to lead. And the power weapons there aren't close to spawning up. So they're decisive and they're going to play back, hold the Lancers. And this is where Pioneers are super scary. 50 more points needed. And the push has to come from the same direction once again from the Knights because Xysho's done a fantastic job blocking the spawns up top for the victory. The last push comes in, the last defensive stance. Can they get it done? The nades come through. Monkyz the last man standing. Raver didn't get revived, and that's going to be the victory. It's a team effort. Everybody's up. They're going to show the love. Pioneers, your E-Day champions for today.
Looking strong as ever. They might have faltered in map number 1, but that was just a wake-up call. Like I said, Blaze, easy matchups in round number 1. Easier matchups in round number 2 with Toady lagging out, bringing an L-Gamer with you who doesn't have the chemistry with the rest of his roster. So that leads me to believe just a slow start. Hey, we got to wake up. These guys are much better than our early opposition, and you got to thank even the Pittsburgh Knights for doing that to them, waking up the team of the Kansas City Pioneers, making them play to their full potential. So to me, this is no strange victory. The Pioneers are the team to beat, and they continue to prove why.
And we did see them play at their full potential too as well. After they lost that first map, maps 2 and 3, where PK had all the confidence in the world, they went vertical on them, okay? Picked them apart one by one. Took the backbone, took the brain, took the heart from the Knights, and they just commanded the rest of the series. And PK, they fall hard, Jacob, but they're just a step or two slow. A step or two slow. In some of those fights we reflect on over these last 3 maps, PK, they could have won maybe 1 or 2 of them, okay? Especially when it comes down to the escalation, which we saw in those final 2 rounds.
Yeah, I almost just think looking at some of these situations when their backs are against the wall and they're forced to push as a team, but not as 4 players pushing down one passageway. When they're split into 2 different 2s, when they're split into a 3-1, something like that, I just feel like their timing is off. I just feel like they're not doing the kind of foundational 3-2-1 go. Maybe they need to start doing that to kind of fix it, because when your timing is off, what that does is one team's going to push because the other team isn't there as instantaneously as you need them to be. Somebody is going to have an extra Lancer on the side of the Kansas City Pioneers. They're going to be able to put out a little bit extra damage. So by the time the rest of your team begins to go, it's all done. The battle was basically decided, barring any miracles, barring any World Star plays. So Pittsburgh Knights, they're a fantastic team. They're phenomenal at that. One of the biggest things I think they need to work out in these 2 split situations is their timing of when they push.
Yeah, and you know what? When I look at the score line, I think that looking at those 3 maps to the middle, the differential, it's a convincing win, but it's close. It's close, you know? It ain't enough to get past them. They contested the Pioneers, but Pioneers found multiple rounds to outthink them to get that cushion to really showcase their dominance. And when we take a look at this bracket, the closest and most exciting matchup that we saw throughout the day had to be Rise and Purify, that went the distance with Purify to come out victorious in that one. Knights and Rebel was a banger as well. And also our grand finals was a great one to watch. Jacob, looking at this bracket, anything that you can take away from it?
I mean, Fire and Ice did a good job stepping in on short notice. I want to see a little bit more out of them as they continue to kind of improve. I like what I saw out of Purified. I am actually impressed week after week. It's just unfortunate. I don't think the overall result between them and the Pioneers will be different. I think the Pioneers still take the series, but it definitely would show where Purified actually stands overall. And just looking at that finals, Blaze, I feared it. I said it. After back-to-back round blunders by Dezonide, they come out flat. They don't have that same fire. They don't have that same fury. And the Pioneers continue to take advantage of these teams that just lack that mental game. Because at a certain point in time, you can agree with me, everybody's going to be able to wall bounce. Everybody's going to be able to shotgun and use these power weapons. But it's what you have up here, the decisions that you're making, the endurance, the mental stamina that really makes the difference between a lot of these competitors.
It truly does make the difference. And as these next few weeks go by, we're going to see which team can rise up to the occasion to take down our defending champions of the major and of the E-Day major as well. It's the Pioneers. But I know one thing is that we got a few more weeks to figure it out. And we got 8 of 10 of the best teams to do so in our Pro League. And with that being said, we'll get more of the answers to our questions next week on Tuesday, when we return with the Pro League. Can't wait to see who's going to come out on top. That's going to do it for Jacob and myself for today. Shout out to all you guys at home. Gears of War has the best fans out there. We appreciate you all and hope you have a fantastic night.